It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. Happy Monday, and thanks, of course, for starting the day with us and the brand new week with us. Of course, we are in a month where we are creating awareness around mental health. October is Mental Health Awareness Month in South Africa. And, of course, it is no news that in terms of a South African context, it is a very challenging place to work and to live. And South Africans are the second most stressed employees in the world. Now, mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety cost the economy more than 200 billion rand a year, and can be a huge financial burden on the individual to factor in the cost of therapy and medicine when budgets are already so tightly strung. And so today we discuss the cost of mental health with our panel consisting of Shifra Jacobson from the Counseling Hub, as well as co-CEO and co-founder of the Panda Mental Health app, Alon Litz, and Seb Prentice as well, whom you might have seen a little bit earlier on. And we encourage you at home to join in on the discussion. Share your thoughts and your experiences with us on voice notes on 063-408-8863. A very good morning to everyone, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Shifra, it couldn't be more important right now to be having these conversations around mental health,
Yes.
maintaining it, how to cultivate it. And why would you say, in your personal reflection, is it so important right now to do so?
Well, you know, I really think that mental health is body health. It is mind and body health. Without your mental health, you're going to suffer or experience physiologically and physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And I think because of today's climate and what is going on globally, I think there's been a little bit more attention given to mental health, seeing as though, you know, we've got stats and figures that 1 in 5, 1 in 4 people, you know, across the world, you know, will die by suicide. So they're increasing alarming statistics.
Yeah, yeah.
And as well, mental health care is not affordable in this country, but we can come back to that.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I mean, Alon, that's part of the work that you're championing with your organization, giving people access to mental health tools and a platform that helps them to better take care of themselves. But why is it so expensive and so inaccessible?
I think it's inaccessible for 3 main reasons. One, stigma is a massive issue.
Yeah.
People are just unwilling to admit that they have an issue. Secondly, there's a big cost factor. Shifra has already touched on that. The cost of treatment is prohibitively expensive. And thirdly, people just don't know how to enter the system. It's quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
You don't know where to start. And there's just a lack of mental health professionals out there. So I think you need to look at new interventions to assist people in finding the support that they need.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these, you know, solutions that we're seeking start off with our interactions with our everyday family, our friends, you know, the people that we interact with. Seb, do you make it a regular thing to engage with your friends about mental health issues, talk through it?
So that's an interesting question, but before this year, not so much. It's very interesting that you asked that now. And this year, I think collectively as a group of friends, we have made more of an effort to try and check in and have more conversations around it, but it does still feel quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that ties into the stigma aspect of it. It is stigmatized, but I think having the conversations and starting those conversations does slowly start to make it less stigmatized, at least within your immediate circle.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it definitely could happen more regularly, and it should happen more regularly.
From your observations, Alon, why do we have this, especially from a workplace perspective, where there is so much stress on individuals to deliver in a very competitive environment as well? Why is there so much stigma around speaking about our mental health and opening up about the fact that, you know, at this point in time, especially this time of year, I'm not okay, I feel burned out? Why is it so stigmatized?
Yeah. So I think Shifra touched on it. I think mental health is no different to physical health. And you wouldn't be embarrassed to say that you're feeling sick or you've got the flu. But people are worried that if they say that there's something impacting their mental health, maybe they're going to lose their job. So I think it's ultimately that fear of being judged, that fear of potentially losing your job or just being seen as different that's stopping people.
And then there's that fear, but of course there's a real risk that you are putting on yourself if you do ignore these signs, Shifra.
Yeah, there is a real risk, and a little bit about the stigma. I also think it's in, all our cultures and all communities. There's this thing, if you've got a headache, you'll take a pill. If you say, I'm not feeling well, I think I'm depressed, you'll be told to ruk yourself reg. You'll be told to pull yourself together. This doesn't happen in our community. We deal with it. So that stops a lot of people from seeking mental health services. Can't remember what your second question was.
It was about the risks that you then, I guess, open yourself up to when you don't have those conversations and seek help. But we will continue with our conversation very shortly. Of course, we would love to hear from you via voice note, 063-408-8863. Let us know, how have you gone about taking better care of your mental health as we continue to create awareness in this month of October.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, as we continue our panel discussion on the cost of mental health. And we are joined by our panel consisting of Shifra Jacobson, who's from the Counseling Hub, as well as co-CEO and co-founder of the Panda Mental Health app, Alon Litz, as well as Seb Prentice. We've asked for your voice notes on 063-408-8863, and we have one from Ashwin. Let's have a listen.
Morning, Expresso. Morning, guys. I find sometimes, dealing with mental health, sometimes I do, I always recommend that spending time with friends and supportive people around you. People that doesn't judge you and that always, make you feel a little bit better. I think it's very toxic when you feel depressed and you spend time alone, sitting alone with all that thoughts and all that. Depression is very bad for you.
Thank you very, very much for that, Ashwin. But much appreciated. And we of course, are counting on our viewers to give us their insights into how they've cultivated good mental health practices. And one of them, as Ashwin has just said, is surrounding yourself with positive people and not isolating yourself. Earlier on, Shifra, we were talking about the risks we face and that we place on ourselves when we don't speak and when we don't open up. What are some of those risks?
Some of those risks are that you're going to become more mentally ill.
Yeah.
Clinical depression means often some of the symptoms not even being able to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Not washing, not doing your everyday routines.
To look after
So
yourself.
support is one of the most crucial things in terms of mental health. And that's why at the Counseling Hub, we offer affordable and accessible counselling. We ask for a 50 Rand donation.
Lovely.
Whereas private therapists, it's anything from 700 to see a psychiatrist 2,000 and something. So very few people can make use of the public health system, and it's very overwhelmed. So little budget is given to it. So as an MPO, which we are, an NGO, we just saw the gap and decided that we could encourage more people to seek help by, asking just for a donation and finding our funding somewhere else. And it's been incredible. We've been going for 3.5 years, and we've counselled over almost 4,000 people.
That is absolutely fantastic work.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for opening your doors to those critical services.
Yeah, and we do telecounselling.
As well, yes.
Because of COVID. So that's why apps and other things that are techno, are very important.
Yes.
So our teleservice has grown faster than our face-to-face service.
Excellent. Let's touch a little bit on that, Alon. The Panda Mental Health app is a great resource that's available to people. Talk to me about the idea behind it and exactly what services you offer there.
Yeah, so thank you. So just to touch on what Ashwin said, I think everyone, if you can benefit from friends, family, loved ones around you to create that safe space, I know Seb touched on it as well, where you can share what you're going through, that helps in your journey. But not everyone has that.
Yes.
Not everyone's comfortable doing that as well with people in their lives. So what we created an app for people. If you search in the app stores Join Panda, 2 words, you'll be able to download it. And you can sign up completely anonymously. And then you can join live interactive sessions. Every day, starting at 10 a.m. till 10 p.m., we have groups across a wide range of mental health related topics that are facilitated by mental health professionals, where you can join and interact. You can either interact or join by just being a fly on the wall and learning more about a particular mental health related topic.
Yes.
Or you can raise your hand and take the mic and share your experience, or you can just type and then interact with the participant and the host. But the intention behind it is really to give people access to community, to no longer have to suffer in silence, to not feel that you're the only one dealing with a particular issue. In essence, there are often people in similar situations, so knowing that is comforting. Sharing and supporting each other is comforting. So that's the core offering that we have.
Absolutely fantastic. We actually have a QR code for you at home to scan so that you can get a link straight to the Panda Mental Health app. There it is. So do take a moment to actually take a picture of that right now. And before we actually exit this conversation, Sip, I wanted to find out about some of the practices that you have maybe found have been beneficial to you in terms of cultivating good mental health. I mean, obviously exercise and keeping healthy is one of them. Anything else that you kind of do to keep yourself level-headed, level-minded?
I think one of the main things that I found helps is being present and allowing myself to, giving myself permission to feel unwell sometimes mentally. Because a lot of the time, I think there can be, Shifra, we spoke about, that inner voice and that, self-talk. Sometimes there could be like a shaming aspect of, I feel bad, why do I feel this way? But just, being present in that feeling, allowing yourself to feel that way, acknowledging it, and then taking the necessary steps, speaking with friends, going for a walk outside if you can muster that in that moment. But acknowledging it, allowing yourself to feel that way, because a lot of the time I feel like it's a reaction or a response to try and push things down and not actually sit with that and deal with it. And then it manifests in other more toxic ways down the line.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that inner voice and the importance of becoming friends and allies with that inner voice that we all have, and not having it become your biggest enemy is such an important aspect of keeping yourself well from a mental point of view. We'd love to hear from you, 063 408 8863.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, and I can tell you right now that the performance awaiting you very shortly is going to be a cracker for this Monday morning. But right now we're back with our discussion on the cost of mental health with our panel consisting of Shifra Jacobson from the Counseling Hub, as well as CEO, co-CEO and co-founder of the Panda Mental Health app, Alon Litz, as well as Seb Prentice. And of course, we've asked you to send us your voice notes to share your experiences with us around the issue of the cost of mental health. Perhaps maybe you can share some of your life hacks on how you've gone around making sure that you are mentally aligned. And so we've got a voice note right now from Anonymous. Let's have a listen in. Good morning.
Good morning, the Expresso team. I just wanted to find out whether the public health system does offer medication, sort of like antidepressants, as well as additional medication for people that suffer from depression and anxiety. Thank you.
All right. So the question there was whether the public health sector does offer medication and for things like depression, and what services are available. I know, Shifra, you mentioned earlier on that the system is overburdened, but certainly they do offer assistance.
Yes. So all the community health centres or day hospitals that we have in all our different areas, with a referral note from an organisation, you can just go to the day hospital. It's better with a referral because we expressing what we feel. We don't give a diagnosis. We just say we feel that client is not able to perform, is feeling so depressed they can't get out of bed, and they're having suicide ideation. So we'll carry on with our talk therapy sessions, but we will advise that client
Yes.
that we will write them a referral letter to the day hospital.
Okay.
Unfortunately, psychiatric nursing as a subject has been completely abolished. So we're not getting any new psychiatric nurses.
Oh, wow.
Which is horrendous.
Yes.
And on top of that, the letter is sent to the medical registrar. So that person seeking mental health help will have to then wait for a psychiatric registrar to come aboard, and then they can see them. But they will be assessed and intervene and given medication if necessary.
So the first port of call would be contacting an organization like the Counselling Hub. And if people want to do so, how do they go about that?
Well, they phone 067 235 0019, and they either leave a WhatsApp message for Tandiwe, our administrator who's sitting outside here to support me today, or they look at social media. We on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and it's the Counselling Hub, or at counsellinghub.org.za, and they can leave a message. A lot of our clients come through word of mouth and through other organizations in the field.
Yeah. Organizations like Panda also offering great assistance. Another avenue that someone can explore is by going onto the app. Earlier on, we showed the QR code, and we'll show it up again. Of course, scan it on your phone so that you can download the Panda Mental Health app. And if you enter that promo code Expresso Cares, you lovely people along at Panda have offered our viewers a free counseling session, I understand.
Yeah, so this is text-based chat support, which is additional functionality that we offer. So similar to the Counselling Hub, using their app, you are connected with a registered counsellor who will be able to deal with your specific issue.
Yeah.
If it is a more severe issue, then they'll be able to refer you to appropriate resource as well. I think our message to people is really be proactive in your mental health.
Yes.
In the same way you invest in your physical health, do that with your mental health. Don't wait for that moment of distress. Don't wait for a gradual degradation where things get worse and you don't know what to do at that point. Invest proactively, and hopefully the Panda app and other resources can give you that opportunity. We also offer assessments that help you objectively understand what you're going through. Because I think part of the problem is, where do you start? So you complete an assessment, and that will give you personalized feedback and a recommendation as to how you should go about entering the system, whether it's through our app, through the live sessions that we offer starting at 10 a.m. all the way through till 10 p.m. And these are all facilitated, so have discussions, learn. Then text-based chat support if you want that one-on-one interaction. We also offer content, which is articles, activities, and videos.
Yes.
And then finally, we also give you the opportunity to connect with a mental health professional through the app one-on-one.
Yeah, and the user interface is absolutely brilliant as well.
Thank you.
Love the platform, well done. And Sip, maybe just some last thoughts from you around the issue of maintaining good mental health. Any advice that you might want to share?
I really like the idea of being proactive with it. I'd never actually thought of that until now, and it's super important, you know, to be healthy in a holistic way, to, you know, preemptively take the steps you need to take. So Alon, that resonated a lot with me. And I think, you know, an interesting thing that I read the other day actually was to be kind to yourself, and sometimes this, you know, it's an interesting one, but sometimes you need to look after yourself as if, you know, it was someone else you're responsible for. Like, you know, because we don't actually treat ourselves, you know, how we would treat a loved one or something. And it's like, maybe reframe and shift the perspective and think, you know what, I am someone that deserves to be taken care of. Let me take those steps.
Yeah. Absolutely love that mindset, man. Thank you very much, Seb. Thank you, Shifra, from the Counselling Hub, and also Alon, thank you very much to the Panda app. All the resources are there. Have a look at our social media pages as well. If you have any questions, we are here to help. This is about building a healthier community.